Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Writing This Week. I hope everybody had a nice weekend and you're ready to try to write paragraphs every day because I like to get you started and get you moving into this. All right, so let's look at our success criteria. By the end of November or the beginning of December, you will be able to write me an informational paragraph containing a topic sentence, facts and details and reasons, and a conclusion. Your writing will be organized, which means that you will use words like first, next, and finally so that I can tell that you're changing the order of things that you are writing down. You will use proper capitalization and punctuation rules when you write. All right. Now, let me go back to the keyboard because I taught you something last week that wasn't right. All right. So last week we worked with a comma in lists and dates. And I told you to hold down the control button when you wanted any of the top things on the button, like the and symbol or the money symbol. And most of you probably already know that Mrs. Hicks made a mistake. It's actually the shift button. So anytime you want whatever is on top of a key, you hit the shift and that key, and it gives you that symbol. The comma is different because it's on the bottom, and anything on the bottom, all you have to do is touch on the key and it will show up as you type. Don't forget too, when you're typing, that the comma has a space after it, just like a letter or a word does. So pay attention to the fact that it is not the control key, it's the shift key. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the tab key, because when you write paragraphs, you have to push in the first line, which is called indenting it. You can use the tab key because when you tap on the tab key when you're typing, it automatically sends you in 5 to 7 spaces. You can also do it with the space bar. That one you have to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to just hit the tab key. And as I teach you paragraphs, you'll see what I'm talking about, and I'll mention the tab key. All right. All right, let's move into talking about why is it that you are writing. Okay, in the classroom, there's going to be 3 main reasons that you write for us. You're going to persuade us, which is also kind of giving your opinion on something and you trying to change me about something that you want to prove or tell me about, like saving the rainforest, or why it's a good idea to have comfortable beds in an animal shelter, or why would it be a good idea to have an extra recess. Those are persuasion papers. And then opinion papers are very similar, but you're not always trying to persuade. In an opinion paper, what you're doing is you're just stating how you feel about something, and then you're backing it up with proof. Now, informing or informational papers are facts. They're your nonfiction writing. Nonfiction meaning it's real. It's real stuff. So when you write and you write facts to support a main idea, then you are writing informational writing. And then entertaining is when you just write for fun. It's also called narrative writing. And it is to tell a story, to have a beginning, middle, and end, to have characters and settings. And so they're very different styles of writing. So keep that in mind. And this month we're writing to inform. You're writing factual papers for me, or factual paragraphs for me. All right, now what kind of writer will you be? I wanted to revisit this. Are you going to be the person that sits around and whines all day about writing? Wah, I can't write. Oh, it's so hard. There's so much to do. It's not going to get you anywhere, because when you get back in the classroom with us, and even if we don't get back in the classroom, you're going to write a lot. You are going to write a lot in your life. I had to write a book when I was in college. I've had to write papers that are 30 and 40 pages long. So what kind of writer will you be? Will you be the one that's constantly asking questions to the teacher because you've not maybe listened to the videos, or maybe you've not tried writing? Will you be the person that is very confident and you've listened to me, you've listened to Mr. Young, you've listened to Mrs. Colda, and you know what you're doing? Will you be that person that just listened to everything, and you step out on your own and you make it your own. You make it fun, or you make it with more details, or you go and do more research. What kind of writer will you be? And you have to decide it. I'm telling you right now, this writer right here, you're going to be in for a lot of pain, because you can whine all day, but you have to do it. All right. So stick with me and learn this and practice and write. And pretty soon you'll be like a really great writer. All right. Remember the parts of a paragraph in an informational paragraph. It is the topic sentence or main idea. It always usually comes at the beginning. Sometimes it doesn't, but it tells your reader what you're talking about. It has the facts and the details that support it. Think of it like a chair with legs. If you didn't have legs on your chair, the whole chair would crash down. If you got a hamburger in the store and it didn't have this juicy part in here, you would be like, hey, man, take it back. And then it has to have a conclusion, which wraps up your main point and maybe even leads on into another paragraph. All right. So that is the parts of an informational paragraph. Now let's talk paragraphs. How you know you're reading a paragraph, there's two types of writing. There's prose and poetry. In prose is fiction, nonfiction writing. You have what they call an indentation, indenting right there. That's what I was telling you about the tab key. You push in the first line of your paragraph to let your reader know that you are starting a new paragraph. Then if you notice, here's a new paragraph and here is a new paragraph, because they show you by indenting that first word in the first line of your paragraph. Now, in your paragraph, you're going to have a main idea or a topic sentence. You are going to have facts and details that support things. You're going to have transition words. And what transition means is to move from one thing to the next. So if you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth and then you spit out the toothpaste and the water, you're moving from one thing to the next thing. Then you brush your hair. Then you walk into the kitchen, see how you're moving. And what a transition in a paragraph looks like is it looks like words like first, next, finally, first, next, last. And so those are your transition words. And we'll be talking about those because some writers use them. Some writers are so good that the reader can see where it changes and it goes in the order of importance in an informational paragraph. And remember that we're informing. So we're writing topic sentences, facts and details, and a conclusion in these types of paper. All right. Now what we have to do is we usually have to gather up information. But see, here's a paragraph. Now this one's indented a long ways. You only have to indent really 5 spaces and then start your writing. Notice that this is a new paragraph. This is a new paragraph. So really right here, we have 5 paragraphs for you, 5 paragraphs. And all of these are going to have information about thunderstorms. So if we go back to this one is usually where it's going to tell you what they're going to be writing about. And it says every second, hundreds of thunderstorms are born around the world. Thunderstorms are heavy rain showers. They can drop millions of gallons of water in just a minute. So now we know that we're talking about thunderstorms, that now they're supporting it with that it's got heavy rain and that it can drop millions of gallons in 1 minute. Now, when you go on to the next paragraph, it's going to be about something new about thunderstorms. So this one's all about lightning bolts. During a thunderstorm, lightning bolts can shoot between clouds and the ground. Lightning can destroy a tree or a small house. It can also start fires in grasslands, forest and grasslands. That's all about lightning bolts. Then this one, thunder is the sound lightning makes as it suddenly heats the air. You can tell how far away lightning is. Count the seconds between the flash of light and the sound of thunder. 5 seconds equal 1 mile. So this is all about thunder. This is all about lightning. And thunderstorms have rain, lightning, and thunder. Do you see how it works? All right, now this is a paragraph that's a different than the in our book. This one is talking about more facts. So it is a storm with lightning and thunder, dark clouds, heavy rainfall, hail. And I read this, and as I read it, you'll see me highlight things. All right, and I will highlight my facts. So if you have a highlighter at home and you can highlight, you can't highlight our school book, but you can highlight things that maybe belong to you if you ask mom and dad. Thunderstorms can happen at any time. They start in the spring and summer. So, and then I go to this one and it contains lightning. They're dangerous because lightning kills people. The National Weather Service tells you to stay inside at least 30 minutes after the first rumble of thunder is heard. Try not to use telephones or electrical equipment during lightning storms or thunderstorms because it might come and follow the line in. So all of these things are teaching me about thunderstorms, and each paragraph teaches me more. You only have to write one paragraph. Now, some of you saw this in first grade, and some of you didn't see this in first grade. This is what they call a mind map, and you get really good at using these in second grade. This is the kind of mind map that you use for informational writing. It has an area for the topic sentence. It has a fact right here. It has a fact right here. It has a fact right here. And then it has room for a conclusion. Now, the transition words that start your paragraphs go like this. First, this. Next, this. Finally, this. And then this one has a lot of transition words you can use. Clearly, to sum it up, in conclusion, and all in all. Now, as you're listening to this, I want you to pause right now. And I want you to take about a 5-minute break and walk around, maybe get a glass of water or juice, have a break, and then come back and start this video because this video is kind of long. And when you come back, what I'm going to do is you're going to see me flip back over and start highlighting facts. Then you're going to see me move them to my mind map, and then you're going to see me write a paragraph. This is a little bit longer than normal, okay? So go ahead and take a break, and then I will see you in a few minutes. All right, so you had a wonderful break, and remember what I said. I'm going to go back to these stories, and I'm going to either highlight or I'm going to move the information down. So I'm going to use a highlighter right here. And you cannot do this in your school book, but you could do it if you were reading something that your moms and dads would let you highlight. If not, you have a piece of paper and you make a mind map on it and you fill in your information as you're finding your facts and details. And I'll show you how that's done. All right, so I want to remember that there's heavy rain right here. Hold on just a second. Let me get my other pen right here. Heavy rain. Now, I don't highlight everything. I also want to know that it potentially can drop millions of gallons of water in just a minute. All right? That's a really good fact about thunderstorms. And I say, you know what? That's my topic, thunderstorms. Okay, now, thunderstorms have lightning bolts. They have thunder in them. All right? So I don't highlight everything. I'm saying, okay, what are the facts about a thunderstorm? Then I go to my next one and I say, you know what? It has gusty wind. There's that heavy rainfall again. There's hail, which hail are those little ice pellets that fall from the sky. They can be as small as a marble. They can be as big as a golf ball or even an orange. All right. They happen in spring and summer. That's mainly when thunderstorms happen. This one didn't, maybe that you have to stay inside 30 minutes after the last rumble. I don't know about that one. I may not use that one. All right, so I think I have enough facts now. All right, so now I'm going to go to this, my mind map, and you take a piece of paper and you draw this on your piece of paper. You draw the big circle at the top. You draw 3 circles that you can write in the middle, And then you draw a big circle at the bottom. And if we were in class, I would be teaching you how to do this. Okay, now this is going to be my topic sentence right here. All right, so this is my topic sentence right here. All right, so my topic sentence, I'm going to go ahead and write it out. And I'm going to say, thunderstorms are powerful and interesting weather events. I don't want to use storms again because that would kind of sound funny. Thunderstorms are powerful and interesting weather storms. So I try to get my topic sentence to tell my reader, what am I talking about? Now what I do is I drop down, and first is at the beginning of my sentence, and I write a fact. I write a sentence that has a fact. And I say, you know what? The first thing that I can think of is, when do they happen? When do they happen? And so I would say, first, thunderstorms happen. Let's see. Mostly happen in the spring and summertime. Thunderstorms, see me do this? Mostly happen in the spring and summertime. Okay, I like that. Now, do you notice that I don't have a capital there because I'm in the middle of my sentence? First, comma, thunderstorms mostly happen in the spring and summertime. Then what I do is I go to my next one. Well, what happened here? There it is. All right. So then I go to my next one and I say, you know what? They have thunderbolts and lightning. Next, these kinds of storms have dangerous lightning and loud thunder in them. Okay? Then I go to my next fact and I go, what was the next one? Well, it has heavy rain, remember? So finally, thunderstorms have heavy rain, hail, and gusty winds. Now, did you notice that I am not using the words of what was in the story? I am actually doing it myself. So be careful. Don't just copy word for word because I'm going to know it. And that is against the rules. You have to read things, you have to think about things, and you have to put them in your own words. Now I'm going to put a conclusion on this. And I'm going to say, let's see. Clearly, I chose one of the transitions. Clearly, thunderstorms, let's see, are dangerous and violent storms. I'm going to use that there. Okay. Now there's my paper. So now I read it back and see what I think. I go, thunderstorms are powerful and interesting weather events. First, thunderstorms mostly happen in the spring and summertime. Next, these kind of storms have dangerous lightning and loud thunder in them. See my adjectives that I used? Finally, thunderstorms have heavy rain, hail, and gusty winds. Clearly, thunderstorms are dangerous and violent storms. Great paper. Now what I would do is I would retype this paper, okay? And I would go like this, and I would start with a title right here, and I would say thunderstorms. I would drop down to my first line right here. I would tab over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I would start writing my paper. And I would say thunderstorms are powerful and powerful and interesting weather events, right? Now, normally I would keep typing and this will drop down for me, but on this kind of program, it doesn't do it. So I would just keep typing now. First, thunderstorms. Remember, I go back to my mind map and use it, but I have my mind map in front of me, or I would be looking at my mind map right now. Happen in the spring and summertime. And then my next word would be next, comma, don't have room, going to go to my next line. Thunderstorms, these storms have dangerous lightning and loud thunder in them. Okay, don't have room. My thing would naturally do this for me. Now I'm going to go finally. Thunder storms have heavy rain, hail, and gusty winds. Clearly, oops, see that? No room, so I have to drop down because this is a different kind of program. And see, it's not just a list of sentences. It's a paragraph. Clearly, these storms are dangerous and violent events. Okay, that's my paragraph. Now, do you see it? It's not just a list of sentences. Now, this is what you're doing today, all right? On your task, what I want you to do is I want you to write this topic sentence. Tornadoes are powerful and interesting storms. I'm giving you the topic right now. Then I want you to reread page 273 and 274 in your big reading book and close your book. Then what I want you to do is I want you to draw a mind map, all right? And I want you to draw the circle at the top, the 3 circles in the middle, and the circle at the bottom. I want you to only use the 3 circles in the middle, okay? And I want you to write 3 facts about tornadoes in your own words. If you need to go back to the book to look for spelling and stuff, that's okay, but don't copy it word for word, all right? Then what I want you to do is I want you to use this conclusion sentence. Clearly, tornadoes are deadly and dangerous superstorms. All right? So you're going to write this topic sentence. You are going to write your 3 details and facts, and then you're going to write a conclusion. And then you take and you make this a paragraph in your writer's journal. See if you can do it today, all right? And then tomorrow, I'm going to do one on tornadoes, and you can see how close you were to mine, all right? And this is a way to write. Just get into it, do it. But I gave you your topic, and I gave you your conclusion, all righty? So have a good day, and I hope you do okay. Thanks.